Hello and welcome to my Star Citizen video series. This video is going to feature the MISC Prospector, one of the ships that I was very eager to test out. Uh, Mining, exploration are two of my topmost reasons for wanting to play Star Citizen. So here's the hull of the ship. And as you can see, it's um, you know, pretty small size, considering. I mean, it's purpose built. It is a single operator mining ship, and that's all it does is mine and collect ore. No processing, no scrap, no nothing. It's a pretty much no frills. uh, get in, get it back to the station, sell it, right? But as I was looking at other prospector videos that have been done by other players, I noticed that very few of them actually focus on the mechanics of mining. And so that's what I'm going to focus on in this video. Of course, we'll show you, how things work, but I'll focus on the mechanics of the mining and show you, some problems that you can run into and what to look out for so you don't blow up your ship. Now that our landing gear is up, we'll go ahead and fly out to pick a moon, any moon. That's not a moon. Let's try Damar. Yeah. So the way mining's implemented today, you will you'll have to travel to one of the moons, and I believe it's Yela, Damar, Celia. I think those are the only moons right now that are in game in 3.2. And then get down to the surface of the moon and go searching for rocks. Of course, getting on the surface, all those mechanics are well known to everyone, I'm sure. So we're just gonna skip ahead to the searching. So first you hit your tab key. Tab brings up this scanning interface. And then hold your left mouse button down, and that gives you a full ping sweep, and that'll collect data and then come back to your HUD. So we found some interesting rocks up here. I'm going to go ahead and hit up here and see what we got. Now, sometimes you may not be interested in the rock in front of you, depending on what what type of rock is selling well right now. Um, you know, um, Perhaps before you leave, you should check the commodity prices, or at some point there should be um, you know, a galaxy-wide kind of commodity pricing exchange that you can access online. And since the Prospector is a sole proprietor ship, everything you do is done from your captain's chair, right? You don't have to get out for anything. You don't have to rely on anyone else. This is just all you. I'm going to try to get in a little bit closer on this guy and see if I can get an analysis on him. So keep the tab key. Don't go into the mining interface yet. I went in there prematurely. If you keep the mining interface up and approach a rock, you'll actually get a scan analysis of that rock. And I seem to be having trouble with this one. It looks like it looks like the rock that's been identified is beneath the sand. So we're just gonna go on to the next rock. No big deal. Yeah. Just go on to the next rock. We're just there's plenty of other rocks to be had here, and we're losing light. It's actually not a bad idea to show what mining is like at night too. It gets a little precarious um, because the way the ship is implemented currently, it doesn't appear that there's any front lights, or if there are, they're not um, implemented as floodlights, so they're not easily visible. So we have to be a little extra careful here. Not sure, what we're, if the rock that's been identified is on, this side of a cavern. Yep, there we go. See, getting a little too close. Now, normally, and I've done this a few dozen times, I get down to, 100 feet or so, 100 meters, and, 100, 300 feet. I can generally tell, how close I am. Again, it's a really personal ship. Um, yep, yep. Just have to watch it. It's because it's dark. See, there we go. That's what we're supposed to get. So now the scanner is going through and telling us exactly what we're going to get with this rock. So, uh, and if you're not interested in what that rock has to offer, you can move on to the next rock. Well, I'm going to have some repairs to be done on this ship. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Perhaps when if we were to if it was real money I was spending, I'd be a little more careful with it. Okay, so now once you're done with the scanning, you can bring up the mining interface with M. Make sure you're in fracture mode. You can press the right mouse button to change fracture mode versus pickup mode. I forgot the name of it, but it'll pop up in a minute here. In fracture mode, you turn the laser on using the left mouse button, and then slowly turn up the laser throttle using your scroll wheel. Those are the defaults. You can change them, but those are the defaults. You basically want to get that throttle up to where the rock energy level reaches, or it starts increasing, and then reaches that green zone. And that green zone is going to change depending on the type of rock and the instability and resistance of the rock. So I'm in the green zone. I'm going to dial down the laser a little bit, dial it back so I get nothing but green. And I'm going to go a little into the red, looks like, before I get done. Yep. And just dial it back. As long as you're in the green, then your fracturing sensor, boom! The fracturing sensor is going to reach 100% and the rock will break up. Now, there are times when that doesn't occur exactly according to that plan, so you have to be prepared. It's dark. I was a little too close to that. I probably should back off from those a little bit more, but it's a training video, so I'm going to show you what happens if you don't back off. I'm going to say maybe 70 meters, would be a good. Maybe that's too far. Maybe 50 meters is a good distance. But play around with it. Make sure you get the right distance. So here I am. I'm going to break up another rock here. Boy, this one hasn't even started. It's really lighting up. But the rock energy level hasn't moved at all. Alright. That's going to leave a mark. Well, I want that diamond, darn it. See if I can get the energy level up without blowing my ship up. Oh, wow, yep. I'm going to have a repair bill after this. Well, after a few times of doing it, you'll get better at it. You'll learn which rocks. Ooh, there's one to pick up down there. So when the outline is orange, that means that you should fracture the rock up. When the outline is purple or violet. Thought I saw some violet in here. That's when you can pick the rock up. Oh, alright. I'm just gonna break some more up here. Stay far enough away that I don't get too hit. It would be nice to have a little light here, but I do like having the outline of the rock. Okay. Okay, this one's going a little easier. I'm going to back off. I went up way too fast. Sometimes you have to get the throttle up to 80 to get it to move, 1% at rock energy level. And other times, like this time, 10% is enough to get it to move. And then you want to maintain that in that green hash mark area. Don't get into the red. Now you can see on the right in the fracturing sensor, I'm almost done because I kept it in the green. Okay, that was pretty much a textbook. There's some rock there I can get. Yeah, so extraction mode. There we go. So hop in extraction mode with using your right mouse button, and then again left mouse button to activate it. And just point at the rock that you're trying to pick up. Make sure it's violet. And you'll see the debris, see the rocks coming back in. So the mechanic here is we're, slurping the rock up into our storage tanks. See your cargo capacity increasing while we're doing this. Okay. Oh, pretty good. After a rocky start. And it doesn't seem to matter where you point in the rock as long as you're within the the violet outline of that rock, and you'll get it. Doesn't seem to be any kind of really difficult extraction mode. Just the I thought I had some more purple here. Well, okay, that's fine. Agricium. I've run into that before. I'm not really sure what all the mineral types are. Like I said, at some point, I hope to have a galactic, mineral exchange or whatever, or even have access to, my own refinery or something that I can put all this stuff into, refine it into different materials, maybe make some basic components and then sell that stuff. From what I understand, the industry is going to be pretty much independent. I mean, not player dependent, but NPC independent. So you'll supply stuff, and then they'll make stuff. It's fairly controlled, but as far as the minerals go, it's all playa. Oh yeah, I do have some damage to my ship. Looks like in the midsection. Got some orange lights going on there. Yeah. Well, let's hit anything else. Oh. And be careful not to keep your finger on the throttle forward key. Trying to hop over this rock. I should have hit the external camera. That would have been fun to watch. But hey, this is what really happens, man. All right, let's look over here. See if we got some different rocks. Get some diamond. I know those are rare, or at least semi-rare. And we've about half filled our cargo up so far. So, of course, the time you spend really depends on... Oh, quartzite. Okay. Yeah, I'll get some quartz. So The time it takes to fill up, one trip totally depends on um, your skill with, keeping the mining laser at the right energy level, or the type of rock that you're trying to break up. Um, Plate time and fuel and everything else. Oop, run mode. And so extraction doesn't do anything to the rock that needs to be fractured. So you have to fracture first, then extract. Don't do anything. Let's get a little closer. Maybe 70 meters far away. And again, it depends on the rock. There we go. Oh, wow. We've got a really small window there to get that green energy level. So this one's going to be challenging. Probably the most challenging one I've seen. And of course, nothing at 25, right? Head on up. 40, nothing. 50, nothing. 60, nothing. Here we go. Now we've got some energy. And of course you've noticed the nice little graph showing us energy level over time, which gives us a nice little visual indicator as well of how much energy is being applied to that particular rock. And you want to smooth that curve out before you reach the green, otherwise it's going to pop right into red and blow your ship up. At this distance, yeah, I would blow my ship up if I hit that red too far. You can overcharge a little bit, but like I said, once you reach 100% overcharge or 100% fracture, you're done. 100% overcharge means you're probably done mining with that ship for half an hour until it gets replaced. And then fracturing sensor being at 100% just means you've completed your job. Oh, this rock is pretty tough. 29 instability. Gosh, it's tough to find the right spot here. I think right around 40% is the sweet spot. Keep it even, and that sweet spot's going to change, based on where you are in that energy transfer curve. But you just have to kind of play around with it. I guess your mouse wheel sensitivity would matter with this. So just make sure you've got control over that sensitivity. You know how much you can move that mouse to make it move, 0.1%. But sometimes you need really fine adjustments, and other times you need to drop down 20% real fast. So I'm being a little bit extra cautious here. There we go. We hit the green. Now let's try to keep it in the green. 1/3 there. Yep, there's red. Let me bring it back down. We're half overcharged already. And of course we lost our fracturing sensor. It's not cumulative. It builds up as you actually put the energy into the rock. So it's pretty unforgiving in that regard. Okay, looks like we're gonna keep it in the green. It blew up. Damn. Well, I think that I have done that before where I've had very little red. I think those are my ship parts. It doesn't look like they're rocks. It looks like they're pieces of my hull burning down there. Well, we're going to have a nice repair bill after this, but all in a day's work. See if I can kind of diamond up that. Or argosite. No, quartz. Quartz. Yeah, quartz. Doesn't look like it. Like all I did was knock off some plating for my ship, and hopefully that's a redundant system. I don't. I see some orange on my damage indicator, but it doesn't look like anything that's affecting any of the ship's systems yet. I like the damage states in this game. They really did a good job presenting that. I also like that I'm getting a solid 30 frames per second since I've been out here. It's the first time ever getting a solid 30 frames per second at 4K. Okay, this piece is, it still has the same instability and resistance, but I hardly needed any throttle on that laser to get this thing to come up. So we're going to have to dial it back. Or I may have to walk home. Okay. Keep it in the green. Keep it in the green. See, this is a really fine control. This one can't go up, 1 or 2%. It should blow up. Can't go down 1 or 2% because you'll never fracture it. Spend all day shooting laser at this rock and never fracture it. Okay, I gotta try again. I'm a little timid after nearly blowing up my ship that time. Also quartzite. I have no idea how rare this is, but I haven't seen it very often, so I'm gonna guess semi-rare. God. Really gonna have to get this one back up here. So this is one of those rocks where you have to punch it to get through a certain energy level and then really back off and let it level off. I guess you'll get a feel for it once you've actually put your fingers on the mouse, wheel while you're scrolling up and down. I know there's an algorithm here, but it's pretty difficult to determine what each rock type is going to require as far as energy. Gosh, I'm really reluctant to go above 13. Maybe a little bit. Just to get it dipped into the green there. Okay, now we're heading there. And keeping it pretty steady, I might add. That's the key. I want to try this without getting any red this time. My ship's well, so much for getting any red. I'm backing off. if I can keep it in the green long enough, I'm hoping that it's not going to, that overcharge sensor is still way up, but I hope I can keep it in the green long enough to, there we go. Okay, there we go. If you missed any of that, if you want any further descriptions, let me know in the comments below. I have yet to see a video that dives into that kind of detail. So I'm hoping this is helpful to some of you other folks out there that were looking forward to mining with your prospector, or just the mining mechanic in general. All right, let's move on. It's going to take 3 hours to get through that next rock, and I'm not that patient. Got more quartz here. Ooh, a diamond. Okay, I might be a little more patient to get some diamond. What do we have over here? Okay, diamond. All right, a little closer. Looks like I have a slightly larger green window on this rock. Oh boy, it's gonna require a lot of energy just to get started. Yep, let's just jam it. But I like to stop every so often to see just, what that energy curve is going to look like on the transfer graph. Yeah, because I like to see a nice steady increase. I don't like to see the hockey stick. The hockey stick would make it very hard to control, keep it steady. Well, I haven't blown my ship up yet, but I definitely lost something in the desert back there. The scavenger is going to come over in the desert and pick up all my spare parts, bring them back for salvage. Wow, this one is going to require a heck of a lot of energy. Okay, we're in the green. Now I just have to keep it there. Yeah, I dialed back pretty fast there because there we go. I noticed that it took a lot of energy just to get it to move. There we go. We got some diamond. That means using a lot of laser energy, like the rock up, means that you're going to have to decrease a lot of laser energy to prevent that rock from exploding. Not as interested in the quartz, but I do like the diamond. I think I have the same. Whoop. Wow. Okay, this one doesn't require nearly as much energy as as the last one. Yep. Gonna take a bit of a finer control this one. I hope those sounds are coming from my ship. It'd be difficult to explain in space. Alright, looks like we're going to get there nicely. And not going to go over. No, dial it back. Dial it back. Thing is, you don't want to dial it back too far because then you'll lose your progress. You know, your fracturing sense of progress. Hey, there we go. We got some. Pick it up. One more. There it is. Any more? Oh, yeah. I do. Right there. Good. That it? Okay, alright. More. I've got about 13% cargo left. Let's go ahead and get some more. 12.69%. Well, that was easy. So sometimes it blows up before you're ready, sometimes it breaks up before you're ready. That was a little strange, but I'm not going to complain. Come back and hit my ship, and there we go. We have a full cargo capacity. Now, we're going to pack up. Exit mining mode by hitting M again. M is the default key. And we're going to hop back up out of the atmosphere here, and then drive all the way back. I'm going to go back to Port Olisar. I'll spare you the relatively boring ascent and magically take us back to Port Olisar. So right here in the administration desk, right to the left, is where you sell your ore. There's the shipping console. I've tried using other consoles. This is the only one that worked for me. Others may work for you. Who knows? So there's the ship that I had. I sell for 848. Here's the diamond and other stuff. Fine. Yep. There you go. Made some money. Probably not, you know, with all the repairs and fuel and everything else. But hey, it'll only get better from here, right? Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.